moving at speed of sound. Like track we can hedgehog around. Got ourselves a situation, stuck in a new location without any explanation. No time for relaxation. Gotta go fast. Gotta go faster, 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 Sonic X.
You two ready?
Warning. Immediate destruction if distracted.
Hope you can keep up with me.
Honestly, as we go through the game here, I think you'll find, personally, let's go, there's a go we're pursuing, no. I think you'll find that, personally, I find Team Dark has the best chemistry out of any of the teams. For some reason, I just really buy these three guys being friends. Like, their personalities really work well together, and I think it's the fact that they have no reason to be working together. They really don't have a common goal in mind. Rouge is like looking for a treasure for no what? What are you fucking talking about, Rouge? Eggman's secret treasure. Where did that come? What? Shadow just straight up has amnesia because he's dead. By the way, hey Shadow, nice to see that you're alive somehow. I'll talk about that. And Omega is really butthurt because Eggman just threw him in the fucking closet and forgot about him. So he just wants to wreck shit. And they're just like, yeah, let's hang out and go through all these levels. There's really no common goal between them. Like, Chaotix are a detective agency, Team Rose have a common goal in mind, they're all looking for the same thing, and Team Sonic, you know, they have a lot of history together. Although, I still say it doesn't make sense why Knuckles is helping out in this game, but whatever. And I don't know, they got invited to go fuck up Eggman's shit, I guess. Team Dark are just buddies because they're buddies, and I think that's hilarious. For some reason, I really buy their fucking friendship and team. But also, hey, look, Shadow's alive. What's up with that, right? Like, again, this is where the game's lack of an emphasis on a narrative kinda hurts it, I feel. Because Shadow's just here now, because Shadow's here, because he's here. What? How? Who? What? No, shut up. Play the video game. Like, we're not gonna explain what the fuck. Why is Shadow here? Because everyone really liked Shadow. That's the reason. In Adventure 2, Shadow was meant to remain dead. They killed him off at the end of Sonic Adventure 2. And they were like, okay, he's dead. Bye forever. I don't know what the plan with Rouge was. I guess they were intending to bring her back, but they never intended Shadow to ever be in another game again after Sonic Adventure 2. But he was such a breakout character, for obvious reasons, because he's fucking Shadow the Hedgehog. That fans were like, yo, we want more Shadow, bring back Shadow, we really love Shadow, we want to play as Shadow again.
Annihilate.
And it's hard to, I mean, yeah. Shadow fucking kicked ass, of course they would want to bring back Shadow. So then Sonic Heroes...
Useless heaps of metal.
I'll eliminate them all.
Again, it's like... I don't know. They had they wanted to play it safe, but they had the freedom to do whatever they want. So they were like, okay, fuck it, bring back Shadow. But they really don't... Like, there's not enough story here to actually, like... comprehend the implications of what they're implying with that, you know? He's just here because people wanted him to come back. And it's like you want more to sink your teeth into, but you keep hitting bone. And that's the biggest problem with this game's complete lack of a narrative. is you want there to be something of substance to chew on, and there's just nothing for you. You're gonna hurt your teeth, bro. You know?
Consumer model.
That's like the biggest problem about this game for me. And then there's Omega, who is a completely new character that they came up with for this game, because you can't have Eggman be part of Team Dark anymore. And really, Shadow and Rouge were just manipulating Eggman in the first place. They never really had any team loyalty to him at all. So, but you still want to have it be Team Dark, so they came up with Omega, and I really like Omega. I know he's a bit edgelord-tastic. I know he's kind of indicative of this era of Sonic, his design. I love the design of these guys, by the way. Isn't these little, like, come on, generic Eggbot dudes? These guys look like what the swap bots should have been, you know? Like, you know, the swap bots from Sonic Sat-Am, the Sally Acorn cartoon? It feels like that was the, oh, fuck you, what are you doing version, and this is the, yeah, this is the mass-produced, like, I'm gonna make my fucking army of robots, like, assembly line version of generic robots, right? I mean, I still prefer the Badniks, but I really like the design of these guys. But Omega, obviously, is kind of emblematic of this era of Sonic, which is kind of... what's adolescent maturity? I feel like it's a good term for it. Like, this is what, like, an 11-year-old thinks is maturity, right? Like, yeah, it almost feels like a robot Eggman made when he was going through a phase, and then after he finished it, he was like, this is stupid, and just threw him in a fucking cupboard and forgot about him, right? And again, raising the issue of sapience with Eggman's robots, like with E102 Gamma, apparently Omega, more simplistic, but apparently still sapient because he's able to go, my creator's an asshole, I want to get revenge on him for abandoning me. I hate that douchebag. Still very simplistic. I feel like Sonic Team...
I'll eliminate them all.
Sonic Team played some...
Control!
Yeah! Oh, I love Team Dark's Team Attack. And again, Chaos Control is a time freeze. Look at this. He is frozen in time. How fast can you die in the stop time, right? Anyway. It almost feels like Sonic Team played some Knights of the Old Republic, you know? Because I really get vibes of HK-47 from Omega. And when they made Sonic Darkside Chronicles, which was a BioWare RPG Sonic game, they really ran away with that, that's for sure. Like, they got it. They understood that reference. But anyway. Look at this. Yeah, I'm gonna turn my hand and catch a roost. Like, I get a like, I get a very strong vibe with this group's chemistry. For some reason, I accept them as being buddies really easily. I think they work really well and have a great group dynamic.
Piece of cake.
Piece of cake. I love Rouge's new outfit, too. They go back, like, I feel like her heart boobs outfit is a lot more iconic, and it makes sense to put her back in that, but I do really love the... I don't know how to describe it, the, like, dark, like, Black Ops outfit? I don't know how you would describe that. Oh yeah, and if you get the key, like, you only get the Chaos Emerald special stage if during Act 2. If you get it during Act 1, it's just a generic special stage for, like, getting extra points. And again, this is another opportunity to show off. I feel like this special stage is really buggy. Look at this! Look at what has happened! look at what is happening on the screen in front of you. For some reason, the speed character gets so caught up on the geometry of the special stage's layout. And I don't get what the deal with that is, but for some reason, when you're playing as the power character, that just doesn't happen. Oh, look, it's the Chow. Bring back the Chow Garden! Bring back the Chow Garden, though. We want the Chow Garden, you guys. Get the fuck over it. Chow Garden's stupid. I do really love the Chow, though. I hope Cream is in Sonic is in Sonic Forces. But anyway, like it seems weird to try and walk. Like, look at this. Look what is happening. I am just stuck. Why is this happening? What is going on that this is happening here? And this is the first stage. It gets so much worse in the later special stages. I don't understand why this is occurring. But when you're playing as the power character, for some reason that just doesn't happen. And I don't get why that is. But when you're playing as the power character, you just race through. Like, it's utterly ridiculous, you know? But anyway. Once again, proving, I think, that this weird instance of Eggman's robots having sapience, why is Omega, like, why wouldn't you just turn him off? Apparently he turned himself on and was stuck in that room for who knows how long and could cognitize the fact that he had been abandoned by his creator and got really resentful about it, and overrode his own programming in order to rebel against Eggman. And be like, fuck you. I'm almost over it, I swear to God. I'm not dying of cancer. Anyway. But again, this is like
civilization
only I think about this shit.
Primary target is Eggman. Don't forget it.
Only I think about this shit. But again, Omega has to have had an animal inside of him powering him, right? Unless maybe you could explain it away by saying, no, Eggman switched to start using the Chaos Cores that the gun robots were powered with back in Adventure 2, and he doesn't use animals to power his bad eggs anymore. I mean, after all, we beat up these Eggbots here, and animals don't pop out of them. So what's the deal, right? Personally, I feel like no. I feel like he still uses animals, but maybe you could argue that Omega was his attempt at using the Chaos Cores like what the gun robots had, and he was unsatisfied with it. Like, nah, I like the robots I make when I just shove animals in there better, so I'm just gonna ditch this robot. So maybe that would alleviate that concern, but I still feel like if Omega has an animal shoved inside him as his power core,
Level up.
which I feel like he might, I don't know. I feel like it would be weird to assume he doesn't. What does that mean? Like, what is the... I already went into this so deeply during the E102 Gamma playthrough, but whatever, it doesn't matter. It's a video game, shut the fuck up, you're obviously thinking about it too hard. But I think about that shit, you know? Anyway. You guys. So, are you already starting to see some of the tedium that comes in with this game? The environments we've gone through here, it's literally the exact same level. There is no difference in what we have experienced so far. We're gonna have, and we still have 2 more times. We still gonna go through this 2 more times after this. Are you starting to see where the problems might come up? Anyway. So the gimmick, of course, behind the team switch, the different teams, is it's sort of like they kind of play it off as a difficulty thing. Like, that's the excuse they go with, is Team Sonic is normal mode, Team Dark is more difficult. And all that really means is the enemies are a bit more annoying to deal with. Like, there'll just be tougher versions of the enemies you'll run across. Like, they have shields, or you'll deal with, like, a bunch of big bada boom guys. Like, it's just a little bit more combat-oriented, I guess you could say. It's not necessarily all that much harder. It's just more tedious. Although I do feel like Team Dark campaign is probably the best one in terms of kind of getting the most out of the game. It's kind of weird. Like, for one thing, I just love Team Dark as a group. But also, I feel like playing as Team Sonic is a little bit too easy, to the point where, like, the stages are the same length, and that's another problem I have with the game, is I feel like the stages go on a bit too long. Again, this first level is not that bad. Honestly, I feel like Seaside Hill here is probably one of the best first levels in the entire Sonic series. And that is a fucking statement, because Sonic is known for its amazing first levels. Right? Like, Sonic is known for having fantastic first levels, and I honestly feel like Seaside Hill is one of, if not the best first level in the entire franchise. I seriously think it's really strong. The rest of the levels in the game do not hold up quite so well. You will see what I mean as we get further on, but the length of the levels is a really big drawback for me. Some of these levels drag on for almost 10 minutes. Or longer. That is too long for a Sonic level. Fuck you guys. Like, the best... Unless you're talking, like, Casino Night Zone or something that is designed to allow the player to kind of fuck around as much as they want in. The best Sonic levels, I feel, are on the short side. Like, if you can finish it in under 5 minutes, that's probably the best length. Like, on a first playthrough, maybe 6 or 7. If you're thorough, 5. If you can speedrun it, maybe even a minute or less, depending on the level, right? Those are the best Sonic levels. These levels drag for 10 minutes. What the fuck just happened? It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's a little unpolished, you guys. They didn't know how the Xbox... They've never made a game on the Xbox before. They don't know what to do. It's okay. It's not okay. Stuff like that happens a lot. You'll see. You'll all see. Anyway. Oh, God. You'll all see. Anyway.
Things just got a little more interesting.
I like how I'll get more into like the deal with Shadow in this, but I like how the setup is he has amnesia, he doesn't remember anything about who he is, and there's this kind of lingering question. You'll get it, but but I like that even despite that, Shadow is still who he is, memory or not. He is still Shadow the Hedgehog. He's still kind of a fucking dork. He's still that asshole who's like, I'm the coolest.
What's wrong with me?
Yeah, as usual, if you die, say goodbye to your ranking. That's because it tanks your score, but anyway, who gives a shit about ranking, right? Who needs perfect platinum, right? Again. Yay.
So, you're the ones who are playing games with my army. Primary target detected. Destroy Dr. Eggman.
You must be Omega.
Weird dialogue
Is that any
for
way
him to
treat
say
your
that.
creator? Now witness your master's real power.
Why would he say so you're Omega?
Dr. Eggman.
We're talking to you, Doctor.
This is revenge. Time to pay.
You'd think he would say more something along the lines of, Omega, what the fuck are you doing here? Right? Why would he say, you must be Omega, as if this is the first time he's ever seen Omega? Weird, right? But anyway. Once again, in terms of like Team Dark's chemistry, this is where you really benefit from having a character like Rouge in your cast. A character who really is just in it for herself, and you really don't need any more kind of justification. Any other character in the series, really, you would have to be like, okay, why is she being like, yeah, okay, come on, weird robot that I just found in a room, and Shadow, who has amnesia, and doesn't know what the fuck is going on in the world.
I think I'm from here.
Let's just go pal around and fuck with Eggman just for funsies. That's where you really benefit from having a character like Rouge, who really doesn't have any kind of allegiance to anyone or anything but herself. Like, Sonic's kind of like that?
Rotary attack.
Level up.
Come on.
Now's the time.
Okay, watch this.
Chaos control.
You rotten fool.
Boom, the boss is frozen. He is fucking frozen in place. How fast can you die in the frozen time, Eggman?
Mission completed.
Yeah. I do think it's funny that Team Dark continued going after Eggman was they're explicitly against
Cruiser
Eggman.
battleship destroyed.
But they're still Team Dark, which I think is funny, and kind of raises this interesting localization question, because in Japanese, dark and evil are kind of the same word. Sort of. It's complicated. Like,
So, that Eggman is behind all of this.
yeah, I'll get...
Whatever it takes, he's mine.
Why do you care?
Any objections?
Negative.
I love that exchange where he's like, yeah, okay, Jesus. Like, Rouge just really has no motivation beyond her own intent. So, like, it was obvious that in Sonic Adventure 2, it was Team Hero, and it was supposed to be Team Evil, right? But they localized it as Team Dark, because in Japanese, dark and evil are kind of the same word. There's a good example of that in the Pokemon series, actually, where... You know how in Pokemon, there's a dark type? You know how there's a water type, grass type, fairy type? There's a dark type. But in Japan, it's not called dark type, it's called evil. There are evil type Pokemon. You know how Ekans had that soliloquy that was like, there are no such thing as evil Pokemon. In Japan, yeah, there are. And that got localized as dark type. So I feel like that's what happened with Team Dark. But I feel like it happened to that, it was beneficial that they didn't localize it as Team Evil. Like they probably originally was intended. Because now, we have Team Dark 2.0 with Shadow, Rouge, and Omega. But they're not really evil. They're just kind of edgelords, right? Although there is this great line at the end of the game where Omega's like, I'll show you what real evil is. Like, aw, shit, son. But anyway, Team Rose.
We're up. You can count on me.
Okay.
Look at Big doing a JoJo pose. Look at that fucking JoJo.
Oh, I wonder where Sonic is. Oh, no!
Yeah, fish-tastic.
Nice catch, Big.
Why? Why are you in this game?
Chocolate.
Oh my gosh.
Hey guys, cheer up. You know we'll find them. No time to waste just standing here. Come on, let's get going.
Bitch. Okay, so... First things first, I feel like the biggest tragedy with Team Rose is that Sonic Heroes was released when it was. Oh, by the way, Team Rose, the gimmick is that it's easy mode, so the stages are way shorter and way easier.
Learn a lot.
Which means if you want to play this game, I would heavily recommend playing as Team Rose. Because it is the least tedious by far.
First, I'll explain the formations.
Is that this game was released when it was. In that it was released before Sonic Rush was created. I feel like Team Rose, by every legal right, should be Amy, Cream, Blaze. It should be Team Girl Power. It should be Amy, Cream, and Blaze the cat. If this game was made after Sonic Rush and the character of Blaze existed, that is what the team would be. By every human right, you know that's true. But no, this game was made before Sonic Rush existed, so it's Amy Rose Big. And the fact that Big is in this game is just ridiculous. And that he's the power formation. Like, on the one hand, that's hilarious and awesome, and I kind of dig it, but on the other hand, just no. Just, come on. But also, now that we're here, we can actually talk about Cream.
I'll do my best.
Oh god, camera. Yeah, here's where the flying formation just looks fucking goofy, with Big being as fucking huge as he is. So Cream is a character who was introduced in the portable games, which is, again, why I say it should be Amy, Rose, Cream the Rabbit, and Blaze the Cat, because Cream was introduced in Sonic Advance 2. That was the game she premiered in. Before that game, Cream the Rabbit didn't exist as a character. And I think that's really cool that they brought this character who premiered in a portable game that was developed by another company. Sonic Advance is made by Dimps. In the same way that, like, Sonic Mania is being made by Christian Whitehead, with assistance, like, it's being co-developed with Sonic Team, but it was made by Dimps, by and large. Hold on. Nope, okay. I was trying to see if we could just walk sheer up. Look at this. Nope, no Skyrim disorder. Anyway. It was made in cooperation with Dimps. So... you could have said Cream doesn't exist. Cream isn't a real character. She's a spin-off character who was made in this little portable game. She's not a real character. So the fact that she, like, she got put in this actual 3D entry into the franchise made by Sonic Team, I think that's really cool. Although it is kind of confusing, because if you didn't play the Sonic Adventure games, you're gonna be like, who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is Cream? What the hell is going on? Like, it's this completely brand new character who's being introduced to you for the first time. But nah, she was in Sonic Advance 2, and she was busted as shit. But Cream's great. I love Cream as a character, even though she is kind of really bland. But conceptually, I think she's pretty rad.
I'll do my best.
And she can fly by flapping her ears.
Here we go.
Kind of takes a little bit of what made Tails special away, doesn't it? If Cream can just fly with her bunny ears, right? But anyway. I don't know. I don't know where Big suddenly having this like umbrella comes from. As you'll see, Team Rose it gets you got a little bit of the Japanese in there. As you'll see, there's the most explicit. Like, oh, there's you got a little bit Japanese, and here it is. Here's the, you got your Japanese in there, really deep. Is their Team Blast. Kabuki poses an umbrella. The music, Sakura pedals. Oh, you could not have been more Japanese. Oh, you could not have been more Japanese. Tried. So for some reason, they just shoved that on Big. For now, his fishing pole is a kabuki umbrella like that. And if you look closely, that is his fishing pole. It's the umbrella, but it has the lure on there and the reel and all that. So I don't get what the deal with that is. I don't see why he suddenly has an umbrella now. It seems kind of weird. Like, I don't necessarily approve of Big being like a battle character, right? He's just a civilian. He's just a fisherman. He's like, yo, I'm just gonna go fish. Like, in this game story, Froggy has kind of been kidnapped, so he's trying to track down Froggy, and as Sonic Adventure proved, Big will move heaven and earth to save his Pollywog pal. But